Fine students, so we are done with the definition of inverse of a function. So inverse of a function will exist only if the given function is bijective. Okay, so it has to be one function, it has to be an onto function. And they have in problems they will mention something called as invertible function. So what is an invertible function? A function whose inverse exist will be called as an invertible function. So you will be getting confused. We learned about inverse of a function, that's fine, but while solving the problems they will use something called as invertible function. So what is an invertible function? Simple thing, any function whose inverse exists will be called as an invertible function. So in the problem they will say, show that this function is invertible. So what we need to show? We need to show exactly the inverse of the given function exists. So the inverse of a function will exist if the given function is bijective. That means the given function is 1, 1 and onto. Now to understand the whole concept, let me start with an example. Example 1 is given as, set A is given as 1, 2, 3, 4. Set B is given as 2, 4, 6, 8. Right. So a function from set A to set B is defined as f of x equal to 2x. Then they said that write f and f inverse as a set of ordered pairs. So the first thing, let me find out for this. F of 1 will be 2 into 1 will be equal to 2. That means image of 1 will be 2. Then the next, f of 2. For every element of f you apply here. Fine. And that will be 2 into 2, that will be equal to 4. F of 3. 2 into 3 will be equal to 6. F of 4. 2 into 4 will be equal to 8. Now, if I write this, they said express f and f inverse as a set of ordered pairs, correct, right? So f will be given by, my first ordered pair will be 1, 2. My second ordered pair will be 2, 4. My next ordered pair will be 3, 6. My next ordered pair will be 4, 8. Right? So I have expressed f as a set of ordered pairs. But they said express f inverse also as a set of ordered pair. But first I should check whether f is going to be bijective. If it is bijective, then I will think of finding the inverse of the function. So first let me check whether f is going to be bijective. So what I will do is I will explain both bijective concepts by using the ordered pairs which I have written here. So I will take the help of the arrow diagram. It's quite easy for me to understand. Set A, set B, a function f is defined. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the next is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. So according to this, image of 1 is 2, image of 2 is 4, image of 3 is 6, image of 4 is 8. By looking at the diagram, you can say that clearly f is 1, 1 because different elements of A have different images in B. Right. And look here, every element of codomain has a pre-image and f is onto. F is 1, 1, f is onto, therefore f is bijective. Right. So if f is a bijective, therefore f inverse is defined from set B to set A. How to find f inverse? Quite simple. Whatever the ordered pairs here, just reverse the elements of each ordered pair. So the first one 2, 1, the next one 4, 2, the next one 6, 3, and the next one 8, 4. That's how to express f inverse as a set of ordered pair. So inverse will exist. What if suppose it fails any one of the condition, 1, 1 or onto? Definitely you cannot find out inverse, because inverse of a function is simply obtained by interchanging the domain and codomain of the given function. So inverse will exist if the given function is bijective. Right? So this is one problem to understand the concept of whether inverse will exist or not. If so, how to find the inverse? This is by using numbers. Now next, let us move on to example number 2. In example number 2, they said that f of x equal to x cube plus 3, then find out f inverse of x. they directly just said find out f inverse of x. Now f inverse of x exists only if the given function is bijective. This is I'm using the bijective condition and trying to find the inverse. But there is a different method that I may be explaining after example number 4. So just wait for it. So first I need to check for 1 1 whether the function is going to be 1 1. They said function is defined from real numbers to real numbers. So 1 1 will be true if f of x1 equal to f of x2, x1 cube plus 3 equal to x2 cube plus 3. 3 will be eliminated. X1 cube is equal to x2 cube. Squares of two numbers, suppose if I have x1 square equal to x2 square, I cannot say x1 equal to x2 because 1 square is also 1, minus 1 square is also 1 only. I cannot say 1 equal to minus 1. Under squares I cannot say, but under cube yes I can say this, right? So if x1 cube equal to x cube, for example, what is 1 cube? 1 only. What is minus 1 cube? Minus 1. Elements are different, images will be different, right? So if x1 cube equal to x cube, yes, directly you can conclude x1 equal to x2. The correct way of doing is this should be written as x1 cube minus x2 cube equal to 0. Use the formula of a cube minus b cube, simplify, you will get x1 equal to x2. But I have explained with example also. Okay, so keep this in mind. So we just checked it for 1 1, correct, right? Now how to check for onto? Onto, we know actually it should be checked by considering f of x equal to y. What is f of x? X cube plus 3 equal to y, x cube equal to y minus 3, or x equal to cube root of y minus 3. Correct, right? So what happens is, for every element y belongs to the codomain, there exists x belongs to the domain. Okay, so how to find? Just one example I will give you. Suppose if I put y is equal to 1. If I suppose put y equal to 1, what will happen to this now? This will become cube root of minus 3, right? So it's possible to find the value, right? Now when x equal to 1, I can find the value of y. Similarly, I can find out for x equal to 2 and y is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3 also. I can put anything and find the value, but how the images are going to be, right? So it is possible for me, for every element of the codomain, there exists an element x belongs to the domain. Hence, the given function is going to be onto. The given function is 1 1, it is onto, therefore the given function is bijective. Then they will ask you what is inverse of the function. Now how do you check onto? This is one way. I told you there is one more way. If you remember, there is one more way of finding onto. What is the other way of finding onto? What is the value of x? I got it x equal to y minus 3 whole power 1 by 3. This I will substitute in the given function. What is the given function? Given function is x cube plus 3. X value will be replaced. Y minus 3. That's correct, right? X cube actually, right? So here it should be 1 by 3 and this should be 3. Plus 3, let's retain. Y minus 3 plus 3, eliminate this y. F of x equal to y. Hence the given function is onto. This is actually easier if you are unable to follow the example. So just follow this. Okay. So the second function what I obtained here, this will be called as inverse of the function. Therefore f inverse of x, in place of y you would just write it as x minus 3 whole power 1 by 3. Fine. Okay students, now instead of wasting time by just going through this illustrative examples which are being given there, I will directly teach you how to solve the problems based on inverse of a function. Okay, so that's actually the method what we need to follow. So this 1 1 and onto condition will take a lot of time for us to go and find the inverse, but there's one more easiest procedure that I will teach you later. Now let's move on to exercise. Let's move on to exercise 1.3. I said inverse problems, one method I told you, that method by using the 1 1 and onto condition. But there is one more way which is actually easier, that will just take the help of the composition of function to find the inverse. When I come to that problem, I will explain that part. So now let us concentrate on exercise 1.3. So in this some worked examples are there. So the first worked example, under that they said something. So they have given something. F is a function, g is also a function, right? And f is defined by f of 2 is equal to 3, f of 3 equal to 4, and f of 4 equal to f of 5 equal to 5, right? And there is something for g also. There is something, g of 3 equal to g of 4 equal to 7, g of 5 equal to g of 9 equal to 11. They said something, find g of f. While explaining composition of function, I said g of f is a function from set A to set C. This I will explain with the help of the arrow diagram. It's quite easy for us to go through arrow diagram. So I will write an arrow diagram here. So this is set A, there is set B, and this is set C. So what's the elements of set A? 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 9, and this will be 7, 11, 15. Now according to the thing what has been mentioned here, f is a function from A to B and g is a function from B to C. With the help of the diagrams, you can also do this same thing in the final examination also. There is no worry at all. Okay, fine. F of 2 equal to 3, and then f of 3 equal to 4, f of 4, f of 5, f of 4 is also 5, f of 5 is also 5. Now just look at the next one, g. Now under g of 3 will be equal to 7, g of 4 will be equal to 7, g of 5 will be equal to 11, g of 9 will be equal to 11. What we need? We need the image of 2, 3, 4, 5 in C, not B. That means I should start from A and reach C, but I cannot start A and reach C directly. Start A, go to B, through that go to C. So this is the function. What is g of f? G of f is a function from A to C. So g of f, if you notice, g of f directly we can write down, not at all an issue. I need to find out the images of these elements in this set. Correct, right? Look here. Now 2 is related to 3, and now 3 is related to 7. That means I will say 2 is related to 7. So my first ordered pair 2, 7. And the next one, 3 is related to 4 and 4 is related to 7. That means 3 is related to 7. So my next ordered pair will be 3, 7. Look at the next one. 4 is related to 5. 5 is related to 11. Therefore 4 is related to 11. So my next ordered pair 4, 11. And the next 5 is related to 5. Again 5 is related to 11. So it's going to be 5, 11. So when you see the problem, you have to understand what is g of f exactly. G of f is a function defined from set A to set C. That means you have to find out the image of the elements in set A. In set C you need to find, but you cannot start A and reach C directly. So start A, travel through B and reach C. While doing this procedure, arrow diagram will be the easiest one to understand the concept of this example. Okay, fine. I will suggest you wherever necessary in this functions topic, you take the help of the arrow diagram. They are quite easy for us. Fine. Now the next. Under this second problem, f of x equal to, f of x has been defined as cos x, and g of x has been defined as 3x square, and you need to find g of f not equal to f of g. One of the most repeated problem in the examination, board examination. Okay, so one of the most repeated one. Okay, sometimes they will ask for 2 marks, sometimes they will ask for 3 marks. Students, just going through problems, going through theory will not be enough. At the same time, we should know whether it is the problem which is repeated. If repeated, how many marks we are going to get from this one. We should have this basic idea. Right? So I said this is one of the most repeated one in the examination for 2 mark and 3 mark. Now let us go and find this. First thing, let me find out something called as g of f. They will give you g of f. You start g of f of x. The way of reading this symbol is g of f of x. So g, open the bracket, f of x, g, open the bracket, f of x. What is f of x is being given as cos x. So I will suggest you to give a name. So let me put t equal to cos x, right? So g of x is 3x square, g of t should be 3t square. Now what's the value of t? Cos x the whole square. This is 3 cos square x. That is g of f of x. Now the next we need to find something called f of g of x. Let's rewrite it. F of g of x. G of x is 3x square. I will give a name for this one as something called, let me call it as z. So the value of z will be equal to 3x square. So f of x equal to cos x means f of z should be cos of z, the value of z 3x square. So what do you notice? F of g of f is 3 cos square x. F of g is cos 3x square. Certainly f of g is not equal to g of f. That's how it should be done. Okay. So take care. This composition of function is a simple concept actually. Hardly few problems. This is one example in the worked example. This is one of the worked example. There are 1 or 2 problems in the exercise problems also. But definitely they will be asking this concept for 2 marks or 3 marks. It depends on the problem. Fine. Now let's move on to the next problem number 3. Problem number 3, I'll directly take the function. You just go through the theory of the problem what has been mentioned. So what they said is f of x is defined as 3x plus 4 by 5x minus 7. G of f is defined by, g is defined by 7x plus 4 by 5x minus 3. We need to show that, finally we need to show that f of g will be equal to IA and g of f will be equal to IB. So IA stands for the identity element of the set A and IB stands for the identity element of the set A. So it's quite simply this is what I need to prove finally, that's all. Set B, right? So this is going to be, once again I made a mistake, so that's fine. This is what I need to prove finally. You can just read out, the theory has been mentioned. IA will be x and IB is also going to be x. I need to prove both of them will be equal to x only. They only have given what we have to prove exactly. That means when I compose f of g, I should be getting x. When I compose g of f, in such case also I should be getting x only. So it show that one. Okay. So let me just try. So let me consider f of g. F of g of x, let me call it as t. If f of x is this, f of t, I just need to replace x as t. So 3t plus 4 by 5t minus 7. 3 multiplied by. Now the value of t. What's the value of t is given as? I named this one as t, right? I didn't substitute the value of t here. F of 7x plus 4 by 5x minus 3. This is the value of t, what I mean, right? Okay. Now, the value of t, I'm going to replace 7x plus 4 by 5x minus 3 plus 4 by 5 multiplied by 7x plus 4 by 5x minus 3 minus 7. I suggest you take LCM, simplify. Finally, you will be getting x only. Don't write it as space is less, so I'm telling you to do right. Take LCM, simplify, you will be getting this actually. So you will be getting f of g of x. Repeat the similar procedure for this actually, right? Then also we will going to get the final answer will be equal to x. Bit lengthy and space won't be enough. So I'm giving you a hint how to do it. You can do it, they are simple ones. So take LCM and simplify, that's all you need to do, right? Okay students, so that's about problem number 3. Now let's move to problem number 4. Some standard examples, and one of the example which is repeated many number of times is this next one. Problem number 4, they said f from a to b and g from b to c are 1 1, then show that the function GOF from a to c is also 1 1. A standard example, and this is also an important one which is repeated many number of times. I need to show g of f of x is 1 1, correct, right? If you remember, a function f is 1 1, what's the condition we will start? We will start with f of x1 equal to f of x2, and if it is 1 1, we will prove x1 equal to x2. This concept will be applied here, but this is the function, right? Then let us assume that g of f of x1 is equal to g of f of x2, similar to this, because this is the function. What is the need to show me as 1 1? So let me rewrite this. G of f of x1 is equal to g of f of x2. Remember, g is already 1 1. So inside g, what is there? You take it as x1, and here this should be taken as x2. It is something like g of x1 equal to g of x2. G is already 1 1. This suggests that f of x1 should be equal to f of x2. G is 1 1. Inside g, whatever is there, those two elements also should be equal. So g of x1 equal to g of x2 will get you f of x1 equal to f of x2. What is f of x1 equal to f of x2? Remember, once again, f is also 1 1. Once again, f is also 1 1. They already said f and g both are 1 1. If f is also 1 1, then I am going to get x1 equal to x2. So start with g of f of x1 equal to g of f of x2, and finally show that x1 will be equal to x2. This shows that the function GOF from a to c is also going to be 1 1. Not much importance, but from the sake of examination for 3 marks, I should study this. Many number of times this has been given to us. Okay, so please study. This is a standard problem where it's not going to work by using the examples. Okay. So that's about problem number 4. Problem number 5 is also going to be 1 1. So what is problem number 5 is given as f from a to b, g from b to c, both are g from b to c, both are onto, then show that GOF from a to c is also going to be an onto function. So it's similar to the previous one. Okay, if f and g are 1 1, g of f is also 1 1. If f and g are onto, g of f is also going to be onto. I hope it's clear, students. Now I'm going to start from this actually. Remember, g is already onto. That means for every element z belongs to set C. That means for every element from this set, there exists an element from this set. That is the meaning of onto, right? For every element z belongs to C, there exists y belongs to B, such that g of y is equal to z. That means for every element of codomain, you can find at least one element from the domain. That is because g is already onto, right? And remember, f is also onto. Similar, remember, if this time f is defined from B, therefore for every element y belongs to the codomain, there exists x belongs to the domain such that f of x equal to y. For every element from the codomain, you can find out at least one element from the domain because f is already onto. Okay, so these are the two things which are going to be important for me. What is it I need to check? I need to check GOF is onto, correct, right? Now to check for GOF of onto, so g of f of x can also be written as g of f of x. What is f of x? F of x is y. What is g of y? G of y will be equal to z. This shows that for every element, what is actually GOF? GOF is a function from a to c. For every element z belongs to the set C, there exists an element x belongs to set A, such that g of f of x is equal to z. It is possible to conclude that g of f is also going to be an onto function. We just need to know g is g is onto, get the condition, f is onto, get one more condition, and now you need to show this is onto. So start with g of f of x and you will land up at z. This shows that for every, remember, z is an element of set C. For every element z belongs to set C, there exists an element x from the set A. Therefore, g of f is also going to be onto. So now let's move on to the next one. Problem number 7, problem number 6 and problem number 7. Whatever we have studied in, fourth one was, I just want to just recapitulate this fourth and the fifth one, because the next two are the converse of these two. So what they said is f and g are 1 1, therefore g of f is also going to be 1 1. What is the converse of this? G of f is 1 1. So what I need to show, what I need to check is necessarily f and g are 1 1. Fine. This is basic condition. If f and g are 1 1, g of f is 1 1. But the converse, the reverse way, converse means the reverse way. If g of f is 1 1, is it necessary that f and g both are going to be 1 1? This is what we are going to discuss now. So this I am going to explain with an example. So let me take an example for this. So that we have started the discussion based on problem number 6. I am going to start with an example. So f is a set defined from 1 2 3 4 to another set 1 2 3 up to 6. It is defined as f of x equal to x. And the next, let me consider one more function g. G is defined from 1 2 3 up to 6 to one more set. One more set is also 1 2 3 up to 6. This is also defined by g of x, and there is one more condition. Now in this one I will assume g of 5 is equal to g of 6 equal to 5. Right. So let us try to find out the composition of the function. Now the composition of the function I am going to explain with set A, set B, set C. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. According to the definition, f of x equal to x, correct. Then what is the image of 1 will be? Now image of 1 will be 1, image of 2 will be 2, image of 3 and image of 4, because f of x equal to x. Similarly, this is the function. Similarly, there is one more function g. I have taken g. G is also g of x equal to x, but with a little bit change. This is a condition which I have imposed on g. Now let us check. Now g of 1 will be 1, g of 2 will be 3, g of 3 will be 3, g of 4 is 4. But look here, g of 5 is 6, g of 6 is also 5 only. And let me check here. This is the function g of f, right? I want to check whether g of f is going to be 1 1. Clearly, one element, one image. It's possible here, correct, right? Clearly, g of f is going to be 1 1, right? I need to check g of f is 1 1, but this question is whether f and g are 1 1. This is what I need to check. F, you notice it is 1 1 because different element, different image. But come to g now, g is not 1 1, right? It is not necessary that both f and g has to be 1 1, for which g of f is also going to be 1 1. It's not necessary. G of f will be 1 1 doesn't mean f and g necessarily has to be 1 1. So as I said, problem number 4, the converse part. Converse means we will say the opposite or the reverse way of solving it. That we say converse, right? Now this is how to explain with an example. So what was our problem number 5? Problem number 5 was f and g are onto, therefore g of f is also onto. Now the reverse way. You will start with this and you will end up this, right? Now the reverse way, what if I go in this? I will take it as g of f is onto in the beginning itself. Is it necessary f and g are onto? That's this question. Now to check that, let us go with an example once again. So I will select a function here. F is a function from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4, and g is a function from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3. I have selected a function, right? You can create your examples, please, not to depend on the example which I am giving. You can create your own examples. Yes, now let's check. It's been taken in such a way that f of 1 will be equal to 1, f of 2 will be equal to 2, f of 3 will be equal to, f of 4 will be equal to 3, right? Now the next, g of 1 equal to 1, g of 2 equal to 2, g of 3 equal to g of 4 equal to 3. Let me put this in the diagram. Set A, B, C. F is defined and G is defined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So according to the condition what I have taken here, I have to create an example where g of f is already onto. I have to take an example of such kind. Depending on that, I have taken this. Right. Now, according to this, f of 1 is 1, f of 2 is 2, f of 3. f of 3 is 3, f of 4 is also 3. Okay. And according to the next one, f of 1 is 1, f of 2 is 2, f of 3 is 3, and f of 4 is also 3. And g of f is a function from set A to set C. Is it onto? Clearly, because every element from the codomain. Okay, so g of f is a function from A to C. So how to say it is onto? For every element of set C, we should be able to find at least one element in set A. Look here. Okay, in the reverse way, if I go, 1 is having a pre-image 1, 2 is having a pre-image 2, and 3 is having a pre-image. There are 2, no problem. Fine. Okay. Now what does this say is that g of f is already onto. Now this question is f and g onto? Certainly not. Just check here. No, f is not 1, 1 at all. F is not 1, 1. Why it is not 1, 1? 3 and 4 having same image, and g is also not onto. Why g is not onto? 3 and 4 having same image, right? So for g of f to be onto, it is not necessary that f and g both are onto. Not necessary. Even if one of them is onto, it's fine. If both of them are not onto, then also it's fine. Still g of f is going to be onto. Okay, students. Now let me stop at this stage, because the next set of problems what I'm going to start in the next class, I said basically 5 problems. There are 5 problems which are going to be the most important for us. Okay, so what I will do here, we already studied too much of topics today. So we did problems based on 1, 1 function, onto function. Then we checked for bijective. Then we studied something called as inverse of an element. Then we studied something called as composition of function. Many topics we have studied. Okay, so I know you have to prepare notes based on all the topics whatever we do every day. So please prepare the notes. Okay, and for doubts and clarification, please call back to me. Okay, so with the hope that you are working out the problems from the work home exercise. So let me just conclude this session. Keep doing. Okay, all the best.